we are going to create an end-to-end application with all the concepts that we have learned till now. So there will be two applications. One will be a REST API, the other one will be an MVC application calling this REST API. We will be using Spring Boot in both the cases. Together with that, we will be using Spring Data JPA module, web, the concepts like exception handling, security, and how to use REST template in the MVC application. Finally, the application also will be deployed in Docker. The application that we are going to see is a hotel application. Before jumping into the application, let us see what are the model classes that we need and how they are related. So here this is a hotel application. So I need a hotel class. This hotel class has a hotel ID, hotel name, and this hotel has address as instance variable, wherein address is a separate class. The relationship over here is 1-to-1, one hotel having one address. In case of address, I have address ID, city, zip code and state. Next, in hotel, I have a menu. In this scenario, one hotel has many menus. For example, I have hotel A having menu 1, menu 2, menu 3. So the relationship is 1-to-many. Hotel B having menu 1, menu 2, menu 3. Though the menu name is same, in this case there will be a confusion whether it is many-to-many or one-to-many. Here if you see, the menu names are same. Though the menu names are same, rest of the things related to the menu, maybe the price is different. Say for example, in case of hotel A, I have M1 as paratha, and here also I am having M1 as paratha. But what about the price? Maybe the price here is 20, the price here is 30. So we cannot have the same menu M1 in hotel B also. So we are having them as distinct, different items or distinct items. So in relationship over here is 1-to-many. One hotel having many menu items. So let me just add it, menu list. So this is nothing but a set. The relationship is 1-to-many. And what will be there in the menu class? Menu ID, menu name and price. What if I want to get the details of the hotel also? So here it is hotel. Many menus belong to one particular hotel. So the annotation or the relationship over here is many-to-one. So this is one more model class. All these classes are also entities in our case. We will have one more class, delivery. In case of delivery, we are talking about the delivery partner who will be delivering for that particular hotel. Say for example like Swiggy, Zomato, Uber and so on. In the scenario, one hotel can have many deliveries and one delivery partner can deliver to many hotels. Say for example, hotel A can have delivery 1, maybe Swiggy, can have the delivery option as Uber, delivery option as Zomato. Now I am having hotel B. Hotel B also can have the same delivery option Swiggy, Uber, together with that he can have Dunzo, something else. So in this case, one hotel can have many deliveries or one delivery partner can deliver to many hotels. So the relationship over here is many-to-many. So here I will have a set of delivery list. And in case of delivery, I will have delivery ID, partner name, the charges for delivery, and finally this is many-to-many, that is one hotel having many deliveries, one delivery partner delivering to many hotels. So it is set of hotel. I will have a hotel list. So these are the model classes that we need: hotel, address, menu and delivery. With these classes, with all the relationship, let us start working on the application. Let me create a Spring Starter project. File, New, Spring Starter project. Let me give the application name Spring Hotel App - REST API. The type is Maven, packaging is jar, the version is 8. The group ID is com.hotelapp.rest. The package is com.hotelapp. Click next. Now we need to select the dependencies. I need Lombok, MySQL driver, Spring Data JPA, web. Of course we need security also. To start with, let us not add security. We will add security in the later stage. Click finish. The application is getting created. Initially, we will be creating it as a console-based application to check it, and then we will convert it into a REST API. Let us now start with creating the model classes. Let me select com.hotelapp, right click, new class. The package name is com.hotelapp.models. Class name is hotel. Let me annotate this class with @entity, @getter, @setter, @noargs constructor. And now within this, we need to add the instance variables. First is the ID, private integer hotel ID, then private string hotel name, private address, private set of menu list, then private set of delivery. Okay, fine. Let us import the annotations. Shift Control O, entity set. Okay. Getter and setter will not work because we have not created address, menu and delivery classes. In case of address, it has imported a totally different class. I will delete it. Now I need to annotate hotel ID with @ID. We are auto incrementing, so use generated value. Give the strategy and the generator name. Generator name I will give it as hotel_ID, comma strategy equal to generation type dot auto. Let us also add the sequence generator annotation, @sequence generator. Here let us add two attributes, name and sequence name. Name is nothing but the name of the sequence generator. Already we have given the name as hotel ID. So this name and the name that you are going to give for this should match. So here I have got it as hotel ID. So here also I will give it as hotel_ID. Next is the sequence name. This is the name with which the sequence will be created and it will be stored in the database. I will have the same name only, hotel_ID. Okay. Now we need to add few more annotations above address, menu list and delivery. Before adding the annotations, let us create these classes. So I will keep the cursor in address, create class address. In models, click finish. And I need to add all the annotations just like for hotel. Control V. And next is I need an ID, private integer address ID, then private string city, private long zip code, private string state. I need to add the annotations for address ID also. I'll copy it from here. Now this should be address ID. Let me change the name, address_ID, or just to make it clear, here the generator name I am giving it as add_ID and the sequence name is address_ID. This is the name of the sequence which will be stored in the database. Now I need to import ID also. It is Shift Control O, javax.persistence ID. To start with, we'll be working from the console. So it's better to have a parameterized constructor also. Go to source, generate constructor using fields, We don't need the address ID. City, zip code and state alone is enough. I can just generate it. Let us also add the toString method for address. Go to source, generate toString. We don't need the address ID, exclude it and just generate it. So the address class is completed. Now we will move on to the hotel class to create menu. So in this case, if you see, menu is not giving me an error, but we have not created it. It has imported AWT menu, which is wrong. I will remove this import. Keep the cursor here. Create class menu. Click finish. To start with, we need to add the annotations above the class. I will copy this. Okay. And then inside menu, I need the menu ID, private integer, menu ID, private string, menu name, private double, price. In case of menu, the relationship between hotel and menu is 1 to many. So here it is many to 1. Let me have an instance of hotel, private hotel, hotel. Let us also add the annotations for menu ID. I'll copy it from here. And the sequence generator name, we'll change it to menu ID. Okay. Now let us have a parameterized constructor. In the parameterized constructor, we'll have only the menu name and price. In case of menu ID, it will be auto generated. In case of hotel, we don't need this because while you are creating a hotel, menu will be added to the hotel and you will be saving that. So we don't have to add that in the constructor. So now let me create a constructor using fields wherein I will be including menu name and price alone, and click generate. Okay, and let us also generate the toString method with only name and price. Go to source, generate toString with menu name and menu price. Okay, now again coming back to hotel, we need to create a class for delivery. Create class delivery. Let me add the annotations for the class. Next, private integer delivery ID, then private string partner name, private double charges. The relationship between hotel and delivery is many to many, so I need to have a set of hotels. Set hotel, hotel list. Let us import everything. java.util.set. Okay, and again let us have a parameterized constructor. Partner name and charges alone. We don't have to add hotel list inside this constructor. The reason is when you save hotel, automatically delivery will be added, and the ID of hotel will be saved in a totally different table. So we will talk about that later. We also need the toString method. Go to source, generate toString just with the partner name and the charges. Click generate. When you are querying the hotel, hotel depends on delivery. Delivery has a list of hotel. So it's always better to initialize the hotel list here. So let me just have it as new hash set. Okay. And for delivery ID, let us add the ID annotation. The sequence name is delivery ID. And if you want to have a differentiation, you can just have it as del_ID. The relationship between hotel and delivery is many to many. So we need to add @many to many annotation above the hotel list. Let me make that also as private and add @many to many annotation. In this relationship, you need to tell which is the owner of this relationship. So here in our case, hotel is the owner. So let me add the attribute mapped by. The value for mapped by will be the name of the list that is given in hotel. So in case of hotel, you are having a set of delivery. The name is delivery. So here hotel is your owner. So I'll just copy this name and I will add it over here within double quotes. I will just keep the cursor here. You can just have a look into this mapped by annotation. The value for mapped by tells the field that owns the relationship. In our case, delivery is the field or the property that is in hotel. Okay. Now in delivery class, we have completed, added all the annotations needed for the class, the ID, many to many annotation, constructor and toString method. In case of menu, we are having many to one relationship. So I need to add many to one above the hotel. So here we will add many to one. This is needed in case of a bidirectional relationship. So I am just adding it. And of course you need to use @join column. We will see what will happen if we don't use @join column. Based on that error, we will add @join column. Next is address class. In case of address, we don't need anything. It is just a class with few properties, one constructor and a toString method. Coming to hotel, we will add all the other annotations needed for hotel. Let me just import ID first. Okay. Above address, I need to add @1-to-1 annotation. And above menu list, add @1-to-many. And above set, @many-to-many annotation. We need to add much more into these annotations. To start with, I am not adding all those. We also need a parameterized constructor. So let me add that. Go to source, generate constructor using fields. I don't need hotel ID, but I need the rest of the stuffs. Click generate and let us also generate toString without hotel ID. Name, address, menu list and delivery. So when you print the hotel, you will get the list of the hotels with hotel name, city, state, zip code, then the menu name, the price, then the partner name, the charges. All put together, you will get the details. Let me click generate. Okay, all set now. We have created all the model classes. Next, we need to create the classes and interfaces required for the service layer. Let us start with the hotel service. Let me create it. Select com.hotelapp. This is an interface and let this be in the service package. The interface name is hotel service. Within this interface, let us add methods to perform CRUD operation on the hotel table. Together with that, let us also create methods to get a list of hotels based on the menu name, city and partner name. For these methods, we will be using derived queries and @query. Let me start now. The first method is add hotel, which takes hotel as parameter. Next is update hotel. This also takes hotel as parameter. Then I want to get one hotel based on the ID. So the method is get hotel by ID. It takes the hotel ID as parameter and returns a hotel instance. Then let us also add delete hotel method. Here either you can pass the entity name as argument or pass the hotel ID. Let me pass the hotel ID as argument. So this is for CRUD operation. Together with that, we also need methods to query the hotel table to get a list of hotels based on city, menu name and delivery partner name. So the method is get hotels by city. It takes city as parameter. The return type will be a list of hotels. So list hotel. Same way, we need to do it for menu and partner name. Let me modify the method by menu, string menu name, by delivery, string partner name. Also, I want to get a list of hotels by location, that is by street name. We have not added location in address. We will modify the address class later. So let me add that method also. Get hotels by location, string location. I also want to have one more method with a combination of location and menu. So it is get hotels by location and menu. So here I need to pass string location, comma, string menu name. Let me import all these. java.util.list, and hotel is also imported. Next, I need to create the implementation class for hotel service. Before doing that, we will go and modify address class. In address class, let me add the property string street name. We need to modify the constructor and toString. I will delete it and generate it again. Generate constructor using fields without address ID. Generate toString without address ID. Okay, address class is done. Now let us create the hotel service implementation class. Select service, right click, new class. The class name is hotel service IMPL. The interface is hotel service. Click OK. All the abstract methods will be implemented. This class should be annotated with @service. This class should have an instance of hotel repository. The hotel repository should be created in the repository package. So let us start with creating the hotel repository. Select the package, right click, new interface. The package name is com.hotelapp.repository. Hotel repository. Click finish. This interface should be annotated with @repository and it extends JPA repository. Here T is the entity class which is hotel and ID represents the data type of the primary key which is integer. In this repository we need to add derived queries and methods annotated with @query. We will first finish the CRUD operation and then come in for the derived queries part. Similar to hotel repository, I need to create repository interfaces for all the entities. In our case, we have address, delivery and menu as entities. So let us create repositories for them also. I'll copy hotel repository and paste it. Give a different name. Address repository. Then again Ctrl V. Menu repository. Then again Ctrl V. Delivery repository. Now we will go and modify it. In case of address repository, the entity name is address. Import it. And in case of menu, the entity is menu. In case of delivery, the entity is delivery. All the repositories are created. Now let us start working on the hotel service implementation class. In this class, we need to auto-wire an instance of hotel repository. @autowired hotel repository. Now we need to write the logic for all the methods that is in hotel service IMPL. First, let us try to implement the methods that are calling JPA repository. So we will implement add hotel, update, get hotel by ID and delete hotel. So here it is hotel repository dot save. The entity is hotel. And in case of update hotel, it is the same method save. So if the row is there, it will update the row. If it is not there, a new row will be created. Next is get hotel by ID. So here I need to call find by ID method. It is hotel repository dot find by ID. This returns an optional. To get the instance of hotel, we need to call get method. This find by ID returns an optional. If the hotel ID is available, when you call .get method, the hotel instance will be returned. If the hotel ID is not available in the database, it will return an empty optional. If you call get method on that, it will throw no such element exception. So of course in our code itself in the service layer, we can use throws keyword to say hotel not found exception. We will handle the exception part later. Initially we will do the raw code and then modify it. Next is delete hotel. So it is hotel repository dot delete. As I told you, either you can pass the entity or you can pass the ID. I am choosing the second option, delete by ID, and pass the hotel ID. Rest of the methods we will do later. Now we will go to the main class. In the main class, we are doing this as a console based application. So this should implement command line runner. Override the run method. Now here let us auto wire hotel service. Using the hotel service, we can call add hotel method. So let me create a hotel instance. Hotel is equal to new hotel of. We have a parameterized constructor which expects hotel name, address, menu list and delivery list. So let us create all these instances. Let me first start with the address. Address is equal to new address. You need to pass the street name, city, zip code and state. Next, I need to create the menu object. Menu1 is equal to new menu name and price. Paratha 20. We need to have a list of menus. So let me create one more menu also. Add the menus to a set. Set of menu list equal to new hash set arrays dot as list menu1 comma menu2. Similar to this, let us also create the delivery instance. Delivery1 equal to new delivery. It expects a partner name and charges. Pass the partner name as Swiggy. Charges 120. One more also. Again add both the delivery instances to a set. Now we will create the hotel object with all these instances. I will just give control space. You can see it's asking for a hotel name, A to B, address, menu list, comma, delivery list. The spelling is wrong. Okay. Now let me import everything. util.set, models.address, all good to go. Here one L is missing. Hotel service.add hotel. So let us see the flow. The main class depends on hotel service. So we have auto wired hotel service. In case of hotel service IMPL, it depends on hotel repository and we have auto wired hotel repository. In case of hotel repository, it extends JPA repository, so the implementation will be provided automatically. But still, we need the data source. That is the details for the database with which we are working and whether the table has to be created or not. So you have to give the details for the data source and properties for Hibernate. All these we will do in application.properties file. So let me open that. Here, configure data source and Hibernate. spring.datasource.url, then spring.datasource.username, then password. Then you need to give the dialect based on the database that you are using. So it is spring.jpa.database platform. Here you need to specify the dialect. I need to give values for all these. Let me copy it. We are using MySQL, so it is MySQL dialect. Next is Hibernate properties. In case of Hibernate properties, you have to tell whether you want to create the table on each and every run, or you want to update the existing table, or you don't want to perform any DDL operation. So let me add that. It is spring.jpa.hibernate DDL auto. To start with, we want to create the table for each and every run. The reason being, we have not added @join column, @join table. To understand how actually it is performing in the backend, let us use create. And the next one is, I want to see all the SQL statements in the console. So let me add that also, spring.jpa.showSQL. It is true. We have added the properties related to the data source and Hibernate. Now let us run this application. Select the main class, right click, run as Spring Boot app. Let me open the console. Here you can see that it is using MySQL 5 dialect. We have got all the SQL statements. Let us understand these SQL statements first. First, we have created an instance of address, so the address table is getting created. Let me have the classes side by side. So create table address. It has address ID, city, state, street name, zip code. So here whatever you have given address ID, street name, city, state and zip code. So this is good. And you want the address ID to be auto generated. So it is creating a separate table for address ID. Next is delivery. So let me also open delivery. In case of delivery, you have delivery ID, charges, then partner name. Okay, so this is also good to go. And for delivery ID, it is creating a separate table. Next is hotel. In case of hotel, we need hotel ID, then hotel name, address underscore ID. This is because of the property address. We have used @1to1 annotation. It means that this is the foreign key of hotel table. This refers to the primary key address underscore ID from address table. The relationship between hotel and address is 1-to-1. So the address ID will be stored as a foreign key in hotel table. But the name is weird. The reason being, we have not given any name. Automatically it is taking the instance variable name. Together with that, it is appending the address underscore ID from the address table. That is how this column name is generated. And in case of hotel, hotel ID is the primary key. Okay, fine. Next is we have got hotel underscore delivery. The relationship between hotel and delivery is many to many. So automatically it will create a new table with the name of the entities. The entity name is hotel and delivery. And here we have the IDs of both the tables. Here also if you see, the name is weird. So how it is taking it, I will show you. First let me go to hotel class. In hotel, we are having the name as delivery. So the ID is delivery underscore ID. From where it is getting it? From the delivery class. Delivery underscore ID. And again, in case of delivery, you have it as hotel list. So it is hotel underscore list underscore. In hotel, what is the ID? It is hotel underscore ID. So together with the instance variable name, it is appending the appropriate ID that is available. We don't want this. If we want to have proper column names, then we need to use @join table annotation. Next is creating a separate table for hotel underscore ID. So okay, this is done. Next is the menu table. The relationship between hotel and menu is 1-to-many. So let us explore the menu table. Menu ID. I will open the menu class. Menu name. Price. Then I am having hotel underscore ID. This is because we have given @many-to-1 annotation. The instance variable name is hotel. Together with hotel, it is appending the ID of hotel. The same thing, whatever we have seen earlier. It is hotel underscore ID. So this is the foreign key in menu table referring to the primary key hotel underscore ID from the hotel table. This is okay, fine. But it has also created one more table, hotel underscore menu list. The reason is you have given @1-to-many. The relationship is one hotel having many menus. So it has created a separate table by using the menu ID and the hotel ID. I don't want an extra table for this particular relationship. I just want the hotel ID to be added to the menu table directly here. This alone is enough. I don't need this. So how to modify it? For that we have to use join column. So let us start from the first thing. I will go to the annotation @121. Next to that I will add @join column. So you can understand that address_id is the foreign key in hotel table. It refers to the address ID from the address table. Next, in case of one-to-many, again as I told, I don't want to create a separate table. Let me use @join column. Here I will give the name equal to hotel_id. The moment you add @join column, Hibernate understands that it should not create a separate table. Instead, it will add this hotel_id to the menu table as a foreign key. So we need to add this to the menu class also next to many-to-one. I will import this. This is good to go. Next is we need to add @join table annotation. @join table. The name of the table should be the name of both the entities together. Hotel_delivery, comma, join column, @join column, hotel_id, inverse join column, delivery_id. Now let us rerun this application. Select the main class, run it as a Java application or a Spring Boot app. Maximize console. We have given DDL auto as create. So again it will be created. Of course I am getting an exception. We will talk about that later. I'll just scroll up. Now here we can see the address table is fine. Coming to the delivery table, that also is fine. Next is hotel table. In case of hotel table, we have hotel ID, hotel name. See here, address_id, whatever we have given. So this is the first one. Next is hotel_delivery. Here also we are having proper column names. Hotel_id, delivery_id. So this is also good to go. And the next one is, here it is not creating hotel_menu list. That table is omitted. In case of menu, we have menu ID, menu name, then price, then hotel_id. So this is the foreign key sitting in menu table and it refers to the primary key hotel ID from the hotel table. So all good to go. This is fine. Now let me just scroll it down. It's trying to insert the values. While inserting the values, we are getting an exception. What is the exception that we are getting? Object references an unsaved transient instance. Save the transient instance before flushing. Here we are saving only the hotel instance. Hotel depends on address. So first address instance should be saved, then the hotel instance should be saved. That is, the child instance should be persisted before the parent. This also can be achieved with the help of cascade type. So when you are adding this annotation @121, together with that we can also add cascade equal to cascade type.all. Okay, same thing. I'll do it for one-to-many also. And in case of many-to-many, I'll just use it as persist. And one more thing, in case of one-to-many and many-to-many, one instance depends on a list of menu or a list of deliveries. So we need to add the fetch type also. So let me add fetch is equal to fetch type dot eager. That is, when I print the hotel, that time only I want to get the list of menus and also the list of deliveries. So I am using fetch type dot eager. Okay, I have saved it. Now without any change, I will rerun this application. Here we have given create. So the table will be first dropped and it will be created. Okay, good. So it has run properly and the value is inserted into the appropriate tables. Now let us check this out. I have opened MySQL command line. The database that I am using is HotelDB. Let us see the tables that are generated. Okay, you can see address, address underscore ID for ID, delivery, delivery underscore ID, hotel, hotel underscore ID, and also hotel underscore delivery. Hotel underscore menu list was created earlier. It is still there. We don't have to bother about that. Then we have menu and menu underscore ID. Describe hotel, hotel ID, hotel name, address underscore ID, which is a foreign key. Then next is describe address. Address ID, city, state, street name and zip code. Then describe menu. Menu ID, menu name, price, hotel underscore ID is the foreign key sitting in the menu table. Next is delivery. Delivery ID, charges, partner name. And also of course we have hotel underscore delivery. Okay. We have inserted one value. So let us see that. Select star from hotel. Hotel ID 1, hotel name, address ID. If you want to get the address details, of course you can do the join. Select h dot hotel underscore name, comma, m dot menu underscore name, comma, m dot price from hotel, inner join menu m, where h dot hotel underscore ID equal to m dot hotel underscore ID. So here I have missed a h. Let me just check this out. Hotel name, menu name and price. So here the relationship is 1 to many. Hotel name is A to B, menu name is Paratha and Pizza, price is 20 and 120. Same way you can do it for delivery also. So we have seen the first part of adding the table into the database using Spring Data JPA. So this is the first part. In part 2 of this project, we will see how to work with derived queries and how to use @query method. Thank you.